1-800-FOOD-RUT. Helping you with your food stuff. 1-800-FOOD-RUT. Welcome back to 1-800-FOOD-RUT. I'm your host, Asia, and I'm here to help you with your food stuff. So in this episode, we're going to be starting the segment that I call For Inspirational Purposes Only. Essentially, the point of these episodes is when I take ingredients and I tell you some different ways in order to make a meal with the same ingredients. Sometimes I'll be cooking. I will be doing that in this episode. And sometimes I won't be cooking, but I will be eating the meal and I'll tell you what to do. Again, gotta say it first. The information will be in the caption below as always, as well as the other meal ideas that I'm coming up with also. So there won't be like complete instructions for everything, but just enough so you kind of know what to do if you're familiar with these things, or if you're not familiar with them, look for them somewhere else online. Yes, because somebody has probably done it. So look for it online if you need that step-by-step, or even buy it. Because sometimes, you should find the same thing. You're ordering the same thing. And it's like, let me try something else. So in this episode, I'm going to teach you how to make something with mushrooms and kale. It is going to be a mushroom kale cheese sauce. That's what I'm going with. So let's get into these ingredients. So again, we're going to go with, I should have called it a mushroom kale white cheese sauce. That's what we're going to do. Better name for it. So mushroom kale white cheese sauce. So the ingredients you're going to need are obviously some mushrooms, some kale. The things to basically make the base for the mushroom sauce. I don't have my milk out, but milk, flour, olive oil, or just some type of oil. Cheeses, because it's a white sauce, I'm using white cheeses. I'm using Parm, as well as, cream cheese. I wanted to use cheddar, but I used up all of my cheddar cheese, which is good. I got some shallots, some onions. Of course, we're gonna do salt and pep and all of that good stuff. So let's get to cutting up these mushrooms. Me telling you some ideas of what to do with these particular ingredients, because the main ingredients are mushrooms and kale. So let's get to that portion. Briefly, I had shared at some point that I shared that I basically prep my meals for the week. So essentially what I do is I just try to figure out like, what do I have that needs to be used up already? And then kind of think like, what would I like to do with that? So I had some mushroom and I was like, okay, what can I do with my mushrooms? And then I had some kale and I was like, let me do something with the mushroom and the kale. And so that's why I came up with this first idea. So I was like, and I gotta make like a cheese sauce, and then I was like, with it being what we have in it, the mushroom and the kale, I'm like, we're not that far away from like a, what is it called? A spinach artichoke dip. Because essentially you can take the same things, but with a dip, with the artichoke dip, they should definitely add like sour cream and stuff like that. But in some other ingredients. So I'm like, we're going to kind of play off of that idea. So that's what I decided to do. So that's the first one, right? And then I was like, you know what? You can really just saute the kale and the mushrooms, put a little shallot, garlic, boom, 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 and then put your protein on choice on top, and you got that. So already you got the mushroom and kale white sauce, just the sauteed mushrooms. You can also do the sauteed mushrooms and everything like that. And add some, I'm looking over there, probably know that because of my cabinet over there. Add some like white beans, some cannellini beans into it. Boom, there you go. A little olive oil, a little lemon juice, salt, pep, put that to the side. Same thing with the sauce that we're doing. You can do all of that too and use it with some pasta. I'm gonna put mine on top of some salmon. You can use your protein of choice, but that's what I'm going to do. So those are just a few of the things you can do with it. Also, you can do all of the stuff that I just said. Come on, Garlic Clove, work with me. And make it into, and use it into, stuff it into either some salmon or some chicken or a pork chop if you want to. So take the sauteed veggies, take the veggies, take the mushroom, the kale, everything like that, and still put some cheese in there, and then put some breadcrumbs with a little cream cheese, and then you can stuff it. So what I'm about to do now is get ready to make the sauce. The sauce is pretty much a classic white mother sauce, bechamel with some cheese in it. So, which I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna make in a second. Now there are a few ways you can do this. You can like build up your sauce and everything like that, and then add in the mushrooms and the kale and basically just let it cook down. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna saute it first just to make the process a little bit easier. So what I'm gonna be doing is I got some garlic here. So I'm gonna chop up some garlic roughly. It don't have to be nothing too spectacular, you feel me? And then I'm gonna do some shallots. You can definitely use onions if you want to. Also, if you don't wanna do any of this and go a la seasoning, do your thing and live your life. But yeah, so you can use it as a stuffing. And I am going to finish prepping out. When we come back, I'm pretty much, what am I gonna do when I come back? You're gonna be seeing me sauteing it. And then I think I have some more. I know I got some more ideas because this is how my mind works when it comes to me making up a meal. Because I'm like, oh, I just eat so many different things using stuff that I already have. Right? So I just kind of use, get out of here. I just kind of use the techniques that I know and be like, oh, okay. So let me just do this, all right? Ooh, I almost sliced my finger. Hold on, this was a little, you a little juicy shallot, weren't you? Anywho, so I'm gonna come back when we saute and we gonna keep talking. So I'm gonna start off with the pan on nice little medium heat. Like I said, we're gonna just saute our veggies just to make our lives a little bit easier. I didn't realize how small my pan is, so this kale is gonna have to get sauteed separately. But that's fine. So I'm just gonna do a little saute of the mushrooms. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of the shallots and the garlic in here because I'm also going to use them later to help build a flavor for the sauce. So just a little bit of that. Ooh, I need a spatula. And yeah. I'm going to do the same thing with the kale. For the kale, I'm going to add a little salt, a little pepper, and just a smidge of garlic powder. And all that good stuff, because all I'm doing is sauteing some veggies. And the reason why I'm choosing to do this, because you can do it, and I think I shared it if I'm not. You can do it where you build up your sauce and then add all this stuff and let it cook down. But I'm like, I really want this to be cooked down and be ready to go for me. So let me just get the saute out the way. And that's going to be that. Okay? So I think so far I gave you like about 3 different things. You can do it the way that I'm doing it now. You can take the same thing and make it into a sauce and put some pasta in it. You can just saute the things like I'm doing now and just put whatever protein you want on top. You can also do the same thing and add some beans to it. Oh, this would be so good if you did this. The kale, the beans, and like some Italian sausage. Oh my goodness. Also, this would be good with, depending on which way you want to do it, with some sun-dried tomatoes. I just didn't want to go that route. I wanted to keep it all savory. Add a little thyme. Hold on. Because you know what? If you've ever made a, what's it called? What is that thing called? It's like a beef bourguignon, but instead of using meat, use mushrooms. Oh my goodness, that would be so good. Anyway, I'm almost done with this. I'm gonna do the kale. When we come back, we're gonna be building up our sauce, okay? Let's build up our sauce. So in the same skillet, we've got some oil. I'm using olive oil. The last bit of my olive oil on that. I think I got some more. So we're basically building up a roux. I mean, a bechamel is pretty much a milk sauce. That's pretty much what it is. A classic mother sauce, or you could just think about it as like making the gravy. So the ratio is usually like 1 to 1 to 1. So like if you use 1 tablespoon of oil, then you should, ooh, hold on, because this big boy is doing his thing a little too much. It's usually 1 to 1. So if you use 1 tablespoon of flour, you use 1 tablespoon of oil, then you add in like a cup of milk. So I like to do mine a little different because I want mine to be a little thick. So we got this. I like it to be like a paste like this. We're gonna have a little flavor from the bits at the bottom, which is perfectly fine with me. So it's gonna kind of be like a creamy sauce instead of So we're gonna let that cook for a little bit. And then I'm gonna add in both water and milk. I usually do more milk than water, but as you can see, a girl only got a little bit, so you gotta use what you got. Okay, babes, how are you? Let's turn that down. So anyway, we're gonna add in the milk, and I'm gonna add in some water. I'm gonna add in about a total of a cup of liquid. When that all, well, my girl here, so I gotta go. Now that we got her hush, like I said, I'm gonna add in some more liquid, let this cook, and then I'm gonna add in the cheese and add back in the other stuff. So I'll come back and do that. So let me get my water in. So I clearly forgot before adding the oil, before adding the flour, to add in my aromatics, but that's fine. That was gonna give them a little, you know what I'm saying, a little brownie, but that's okay. Sometimes you mess up because things are just going on. Like they ain't no smoke detector. Ain't even no smoke. Bad boy so sensitive. Anyway, so we're gonna add this in, but how you would properly do it is you would add in your oil, let it heat up, and then you would basically saute your what's it called? Your shallots and your garlic. Then you get adding your flour, or you can add the flour in and then saute the onions, the garlic, and the shallots. Add in your liquids of choice, and then go from there. So anyway, I'm gonna let this cook for a little bit longer just so it can get thicker, because as you can see, it's steaming. Okay, and I gotta smooth her out because that just threw me for a loop. See, it got a little bit thicker. Usually I do like my gravy to be a bit thicker, but because we are going to be adding cheese to it, I was like, let me just keep it a little thin, so that way, you know, it don't be too thick. Because I'm not going for a dip consistency. So just adding a little salt and pepper to it. And now we're gonna add in, like I said, I got Parmesan cheese. So it has been out at room temp, which is what I wanted to, because it's easier to melt. I feel like Parmesan is one of the cheeses. It is a hard rind cheese, so it does take a little bit more time to melt. So we're just gonna add that in. Okay. And then I also kind of queued up my cream cheese, and also it's been out room temp, because adding like cold cream cheese to a hot sauce, even though it's dairy in here, it will not necessarily curdle, but it'll do something weird. So kind of getting stuff to like room temp and like cutting it into smaller sizes so that it can melt faster will help with the final result. So I'm gonna slowly but surely add in the cream cheese. I don't want to bring down the temp too fast. I'm getting into the culinary world, but if you ever did that, like if you've ever made like something that was like add cream cheese to it and then you notice the little white balls, that's because one, you're adding something cold to something hot. When dairy is cold and get added to something hot, it kind of curdles. That's one thing. So definitely leaving it out to like kind of get up to room temp helps, and also cutting it down into smaller pieces so that way it's less time to melt will help you out in the long run. So we're gonna keep adding in our cream cheese little by little, and then when I come back, apologies you can't hear me over the fan because you know our homegirl came on, so I'm like, you wildin', there ain't much going on. She's mad sensitive. We're gonna add in the kale and mushrooms to basically warm them back up. It's gonna be plated, and we're gonna be eating. Okay. And here we are. We got some nice thick sauce. I love a thick sauce. So our girl, I don't know how she looking on camera, but you know, she a little cream more than a white sauce. That's fine. So we got our veggies. So again, I'm using kale and mushroom, but of course you can use mushrooms and spinach, mushrooms and some leeks. Ooh, this is gonna be so good. I'll also add just a little bit of Dijon mustard to the sauce, just because I want a little pungent acid just to give me what I want. Oh my gosh. Now, I was talking about this. Now, I'm telling y'all, now imagine doing all of this and kind of like maybe thinning the sauce off just a little bit with some beans and some Italian sausage, and then having some good bread like a sourdough, a ciabatta, a baguette, a French loaf, ooh, some focaccia. Yeah. So again, like I said, we use 2 ingredients, and I've given you like at least 6 or 7 dishes that you can make. Okay. Anyway, this is the end. Look at her. She looks so good. She looks so good. Anyway, let's plate up and let me eat. Oh, I think I should give me some lemon. Yeah, I'm gonna make a little lemon up. Yeah. And we're done. Oh, lemon, get in that and do your job. We're done, girl. And as you can see, this is it. We got two veggies, if you want to say mushrooms are veggie, they are. You got your veggies, you got a sauce, you got a protein. Like I said, I'm doing salmon. But of course, you can do chicken. For my salmon, I just did classic salt, garlic powder, and pepper. Not so much on. And that's it, babes. That's it. Squeeze a little lemon juice. Let's get into this. First, I'm going to just do my sauce, even though I know this is good, but yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So this mushroom kale white sauce is so versatile. I mean, essentially, yes, it's a gravy. Yes, it's a bechamel. Yes, it's a cream sauce. It's plenty of things, okay? And it could be used in so many ways. Here, I'm kind of using it as a topping. You can turn it into stuffing, like I said. You kind of thin it out, turn it into a base for like kind of a chowder, kind of a stew, kind of a bisque. Put some beans, put some Italian sausage. Also use all of this and stuff it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the point is supposed to be about. You're supposed to know how to make something and use it in many different ways. Not supposed to, but that is my plan for you. Is to show you one thing and be like, okay, these are the way you can do it. These are the ingredients you can have. Because I was definitely trying to figure out what I needed to do. Because I was like, the mushrooms throwing me off because I was coming up with so many dishes. But then I had to scale it back and was like, think more of sauces. Think more of stuffing. Think more of like just like simple, clean. Especially if you're doing the whole, not whole thing, but a lot of people like want to eat, what do they call it? Whole meals, whole fruits, whole veggies, whatever, I don't know, something whole. And it's like, yes, you made a sauce, but come on now, get into the sauce. Oh my God. I don't need to be going into a second because I'm about to eat this for my lunch. Okay, anyway. Because I need to enjoy this in private. I need some bread. Anyway. Until next time, let me make sure I got it on my lips. Okay. Until next time, bye. You need to get my bye. Until next time, bye. A little cool sample for you. All right, bye.